Hello and welcome. In this video, we will tackle the find peak element 2D problem. This is a fascinating extension of the classic binary search algorithm applied to a two-dimensional matrix. We will explore how to efficiently find a peak element without scanning the entire grid. First, let's define what we are looking for. A peak element in a 2D matrix is strictly greater than all of its adjacent neighbors. That means the element must be larger than the values immediately above, below, to the left, and to the right of it. Importantly, if an element is on the boundary, we assume the space outside the matrix is minus infinity. Let's look at an example. Here, the number 30 is a peak. If you compare it to its neighbors, 30 is greater than 20, greater than 16, greater than 21, and greater than 14. It satisfies the condition perfectly. Note that a matrix can have multiple peaks, but we only need to return the coordinates of any one of them. The most straightforward way to solve this is the brute force or naive approach. We simply iterate through every single cell in the matrix. For each cell, we check if it's a peak, or we can just find the global maximum value in the entire grid. The global maximum is guaranteed to be a peak. However, this requires visiting every cell, resulting in a time complexity of O of m times n. For very large matrices, visiting every cell is too slow. We want something faster than O of m times, and our goal is to achieve a logarithmic time complexity, specifically O of n log m or O of m log, and this suggests we need a variation of binary search. Before we dive into 2D, let's quickly recall the 1D version. In a 1D array, we check the middle element. If the middle element is smaller than its right neighbor, we know a peak must exist somewhere to the right, because we are on an upward slope. Conversely, if it's smaller than the left neighbor, a peak exists to the left. We can discard half the array at each step. Now, let's extend this to 2D. We will apply binary search on the columns. First, we pick the middle column. Then, instead of just looking at a single element, we find the global maximum element within that specific column. Finally, we compare this column maximum with its left and right neighbors to decide which half of the matrix to discard. Here is the algorithm in action. Step 1, select the middle column. Step 2, find the maximum value in that column. Let's say it is 50 at row 2. Step 3, compare 50 with its left neighbor, which is 15, and its right neighbor, which is 30. Since 50 is greater than both, we have found a peak. If the left neighbor were larger, we would eliminate the right half of the matrix and search the left half. Why does this work? If the element to the left of our column maximum is greater, it means there is an upward slope leading into the left half. By following that upward path, we are guaranteed to eventually hit a peak or a boundary. This logic allows us to safely discard the entire right half of the matrix, drastically reducing our search space. Let's analyze the efficiency. We perform binary search on the columns, which takes O of log n steps. In each step, we iterate through m rows to find the column maximum, taking O of m time. Multiplying these together gives us a total time complexity of O of m log, and this is significantly faster than the linear scan for matrices where m is much smaller than n. Here is the logic in pseudocode. We initialize our start and end column pointers. Inside the loop, we calculate the middle column and find the row index of the largest element in that column. We then check the left and right neighbors. If we found a peak, we return it. Otherwise, if the right neighbor is larger, we move our start pointer to the right. If the left is larger, we move our end pointer to the left. To summarize, the find peak element 2D problem asks us to find a local maximum in a grid. While a linear scan works, it is inefficient. By leveraging the divide and conquer strategy of binary search on columns and finding row maximums, we achieve an optimized O of m log n solution. This problem is a great example of how 1D algorithms can be adapted for higher dimensions.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.